Today is gonna be a super exciting day. We're actually having a normal day, but it's a lot of new special things going on at the cafe, and then I also think that it's gonna be a super busy day because the weather's great, the spring is here. Yeah, it's actually the start of the month. So sometimes there's a lot of people when they have just had their salaries. The sun is almost shining and the birds are singing and everybody's sleeping. You're just ahead of everybody. Så er vi i gang. So the first thing we need to do is to get some of the swirls. I already rolled some of the cardamom swirls for tomorrow and put those in the proofer down there. That's the first thing. It's actually one of the best sellers here. It's, as I said in the previous video, it's like we try to make something healthy here for people, but people want something sweet and they want something soft and nice, and we can't really do that much else in regards to pastries than something like this, because our space is so small. We can't do croissant or pain au chocolat or something like that. We can't do that. So I think this is a really good product that everybody likes. But one thing we've done since last time is we've introduced the cinnamon one. So last time we only had the cardamom, but now we also have the cinnamon, which is also very popular. So I roll a couple of these and it gives a really nice flavor here in the bakery. Like the smell of it when you bake them is really good. So it's principally the same dough, just without cardamom, and then you make the filling with cinnamon instead of cardamom. We had a record on swirls last week where we sold almost 180 swirls. And that's a lot of rolling. Like I'm still a lonely boy here on the baking section, so I'm rolling and cutting and doing everything. So I always have this about 70 or something ready on the weekends. And then it's coffee time. We have to get buns in the oven, 6 o'clock sharp. So we are just in time for a good cup of coffee here. So actually since last time we have changed the coffee that we use on our espresso. We are using like one of the smaller suppliers of coffee. And sometimes they just don't have the same beans. So since you were here last time, we actually had another coffee.
And you learned latte art?
A little bit. The first one is always a little bit rusty, but the next ones usually get better. We're gonna cut a lot of buns today. We had some pre-orders of buns. So we have quite a bit of buns, yeah. So we're gonna keep chopping until we're done. We need to chop 6 boxes. Normally I only chop 5, but today we'll chop 6. And when I mean chop, I mean cut them out. A little sip. It's good.
Good coffee?
Very good. It's always nice. I like to have my tea in the car, and then when I get out here I make myself a proper cup of coffee. So the last video we did on YouTube, it actually had a way bigger impact on our business than I thought. Like, first of all, I think you did a really good job making a really nice video, Frederick. But the second thing is also, like, personally I'm not such a big social media guy. I don't spend much time on making Instagram posts and such. I rather just like do what I'm good at, and that is to make bread and food, and then people can talk about it and share their experience and then come and eat it if they want to. The video we did last time really helped like kind of get the word out there that we were here, and it's had a a really big impact because there's so many tourists who would never come here in this part of Denmark. And they have a really good time here. They go and have a walk in the forest, and they come and have lunch before and after. They go to Louisiana, a little bit further up the coast. And it's just so nice that we had this experience where like we had a good time making the video, but it was also like really impactful for the business here. First of all, I'm just very happy that people were so interested in the video, but also that there were so many people commenting and saying nice things. There were a few a little tougher comments as well.
Which ones?
It was just because you had last time you had a meatball toast, and there was a piece of bread and it was too dark, and everybody noticed that the bread was too dark. It was like almost black. I personally like it. I think it tastes good, but most people, they're really scared of eating a burned piece of bread. And then there was also some people who thought it was very funny that I had flip-flops on, and some people, like, it seemed like they were chefs or something. They said like, that's not safe and such. Yeah, okay, it's not that safe, but you know, we're standing here baking a bun. We're not in like a high-end professional kitchen where there's frying oil all over the place and 100 chefs. It's not that dangerous. But you should always wear safety shoes in your cafe. I had one funny incident with a person who was here because of the video. There was a food entrepreneur from LA who said that he pretty much came just because he saw the video. And he was, like, the funny thing is, like, he was so surprised that I was actually here. And I just wanted to touch down a little bit on that. It's like, I'm here every day. Like, if you come here and you've seen the video, I'll be here because I'm here I'm here every day at some point, but sometimes I'm leaving a little bit early. But it was just funny that there was a guy and he said, like, normally people, when they've made a video like that, they're never there. And I was like, but I like to be here. Like, I enjoy being here. It's just, sometimes it's funny with people's perspective on, like, that this, like, of course it's hard work, but it also keeps you going. Like, you get up early in the morning and you make good products for people. I really enjoy it. I just felt like when we opened, there's so many things you need to take care of when you open a restaurant. And I was like, always like, okay, what is actually the most important things? Like, the most important things is that you have good products and that you're doing a good service. And then I think it's also very important that your staff is feeling well, because if they don't feel well, then you can't create a good environment, I think. The thing that I would have done differently is I would have hired more people a little bit more rapidly. Because I've really been struggling. Like, it's been quite tough. Sometimes it's so busy, and you know, I just feel like I've been like behind a quarter. So every quarter I'm like, okay, now I need to hire a little bit more, and then you know, that goes a few weeks before you find that person, and then you're already behind again. So you should just have hired one extra person in the first place. But on the other hand, you can't really know that, because you also, like, let's say that it wasn't as busy and later than you thought. Then you are there and you hire two people, and they also have to make sure that they have a job, right? So it's that is the thing I would have changed. But overall, I think it's gone really, really well, and I'm very happy with the whole process. Yeah, but actually we have developed the menu card quite a bit since last time. We have like, there's a new chef who started here, Sally. And Sally has come with a lot of good ideas on how we set up both the menu, so the guest has a better experience, which is the most important thing. So that is like the whole structure of the menu. I can show you that later in the video. And we have also made a new main course, which is our summer club toast, which is like a take on making a, what's it called? Like a club sandwich, but it's just open instead of closed. So it means that there's no top on the sandwich, right? So it's like our meatball toast, but just with confit chicken from an amazing place over in Jutland. with chickens that has been walking in the forest for 90 days. And the flavor of this chicken is just like amazing. So since last time we opened the courtroom, which is a really big deal, especially in the weekends, because we really missed out space for the guests to sit. But it's only open in the weekends at the moment, because in the weekdays there's not enough guests out here, and sometimes it takes a lot of power to like maintain it and keep an eye on it. But in the weekends it's open, so you'll see that later, where people sit there and they eat breakfast and they eat lunch and just hang out. Another thing we also tried was that we tried to do a booking system, but it's a lot of work, and it doesn't really, since people are coming up to order, it just created like a bad dynamic. So we have stopped taking bookings, but there is plenty of seating now, so you don't have to like book a table or anything. You just show up and then there's plenty of space for you. We have also opened up an extra day, so when you were here last time we were open Thursday to Sunday, but now we are also open on Wednesdays, and that has been greatly appreciated, especially by the locals out here. And also we expanded the sidewalk, so the people owning the building, they applied to the commune and they were permissioned to expand the sidewalk. There's a little bit more space for outdoor seating. So in the summer here we have extra tables and extra benches, so people can sit and enjoy stuff on the front of the building. And especially like we've had a lot of bike cyclists who drive up and down the coast, and when they come by, they can sit out there with their bikes and have a coffee and something sweet for their legs, so they can gather some energy and get all the way back to Copenhagen. Our underlying mission is like improve the health of the general health. So we have bought in kettlebells so people can come out, they can have a workout with their friends, and then they can go to the beach, to the harbor, and work out and come back and have a lunch, hang out. So then they will have social activity, physical activity, and healthy food. That is a good thing, right? Yeah, so it's my typical day has changed a little bit. So when you were here last time, I was here from 5 in the morning till 5, 6, 7 in the evening. But I think we have, since we also changed the opening hours and we are closing at 4 every day, then I'm leaving around like I aim to be here from 5:30 in the morning till about 2, but it's not always that I can do that. So, but then the latest is 4:30. So it means like my days has gone significantly down. Instead of like working, as I said, like these 80 to 100 hours a week of practical work, then I'm down to like around 50, and that is still a lot. I want to get down to 35 and then have like 5-10 hours on my computer. It changes a lot because I have a daughter at home and I have a family and my friends as well, and I really like the whole space is about creating health, the general health, but I also need to feel good, like so I'm trying to get back to having a regular life where I can also have some fun activities besides work, because mostly I'm just working and going home and then being with my family and then go back to work the day after. And it's I would also like to go to the gym and work out a little bit and have time to do some fun like social activities. But it's just hardcore when you have kids and a company. It's just, that's just how it is. So I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to organize my way out of it. So you were asking me if we have a lot of local guests from out here, and yes, we do. And I'm so appreciative of like the support they give the bakery. Like without them, it wouldn't have been possible to sustain the business. But the most thing is like there's not many people living here. There's like 1,700, 2,000 people living in Torbeck, and it sounds like a lot of people, but it's not that many people. Like if you open this place in the city center, you would have another traffic, like much more traffic going through, selling coffees and buns and bread and all these things. But it's just like some of them come several times a day, and this has just been like the game changer that it was even possible to have this business. Because if it's a rainy day, people don't come here. There's nobody from around the area that comes by, so you need like the local support. So I'm very happy that they like what we do in our services and our products. So it's a good collaboration. regarding the guests, it's also nice because there's a school and everything. So then sometimes people, they come and have a coffee or yogurt or some breakfast with their kids before they go to school, and then they come after they have put their kids to school, and then they hang out and work on their computer. They go home a little bit and then they come back for lunch, and then they go to the school, pick up their kids and come by again with the... It's just amazing to see that. And also like the community here, like people like really look after each other. It's a wonderful neighborhood out here. What motivates me is actually that I just enjoy baking and making food. Like I've really been thinking a lot about the past years, like what would I do if I didn't do this? And I don't know. Like this is my calling. I really enjoy my work. Like normally when you're not here, I have 1.5 hours of alone time, where you can just like gather your thoughts and drink coffee and bake bread. That's one thing. But another thing is also like actually being a team leader. Like I like to see people grow and also like to help people out. So I think like this whole aspect of being the boss and the leader is something that resonates me, but I can feel that in the future we will need more people like kind of responsible. I would like to open up 7 days, but it's just we just need to make sure there is enough guests out here. But if we have 7 days open, you will need like another like full-time manager or sous chef or something here. We are up at 180 buns right now, but I'm just thinking if we should bake one more box of buns, and I think we should. We're gonna do one more box. So right now it's 25. At 6:45 we need to have bread in the oven. So that means that we are baking in that one now, and then the bottom one needs to be for buns in the end. Last buns. So where we're at in the process is like we're like 5 minutes late on the bread, because you need the bread in we should have it in by now. But we've just finished the buns, and now we're gonna chop out some bread and put those in the oven, and then if we can get that in as soon as possible, we will have everything ready by opening hour. Today it's Saturday, so we're also making dough for tomorrow. And you can see here is our sourdough starter that we've refreshed yesterday. Now we're gonna add some more water and flour to it, and then in like around 9 o'clock, it's about 7 now. In about 2 hours we can start making our dough for Sunday. And for Sunday we're doing the same amount as we do for Saturday, so it's about 70 kilos or something. So at this point the sourdough is normally like really sour. It's like very like vinegary. But then when you do it like this and you refresh it now, and then in 2 hours it will be more like a light yogurt. And that is how I like my sourdough. When it tastes like light yogurt, it's very active on yeast bacteria. When it's very sour, It's very active with lactic bacteria, and I would like it to be very yeasty when we make the dough, and then the fermentation and the lactic bacteria will work in the fridge overnight. And now we add some more water and some more flour, and then we mix it really well together. Bang. Så kan vi komme brød om. Nå, Laurits. Godmorgen. Godmorgen. Godt at se dig.
I lige måde.
Ja, er du frisk? Det er godt. Har vi helt så meget klar? Det der er lidt sjovt, de der store, det er sådan, de er ofte så sådan, nogle gange det andet batch. Like the textures between different components.
it's okay to bring your plates to the harbor and eat your luncheon, whatever you got, and then bring the plates back if you wanna. A really good idea actually, because sometimes the cafe is completely packed, and then you can go here and enjoy your lunch in peace and quiet. Det er super. This one is another technique. It's rolling. Roll. And you like throw it in. Oh, let's see.
Yes. Okay.
So you just roll it a couple times.
Yeah.
Twirl on. This is important that you lock it,
Yeah.
because otherwise you will have the long open line.
So stretch it a bit, right?
Very little. Yeah. You're sure about? Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
So I hold like this. This end you want over here. You stretch. And then when you roll it, you want that round end to be up. Exactly. So what we're having here is the rye bread that's been cooking for like 4 or 5 hours. And what you can see here is that you can see these small dots in the surface. This means that the rye bread is ready to be baked. So you can see these small dots, we call them øjne, eyes. So when the bread starts getting the ice, you can start baking it. So this is actually a really smart thing that I'm doing, if I have to be quite honest, is that we're using the tins for the wheat bread in the morning, and then once we're done baking, we shape all the rye bread, and then they prove and we bake it. So we have the same piece of equipment used several times throughout the day, so that we can we bake rye bread for the neighborhood out here, and then also for a small kindergarten, which is actually not so small. They're getting around 55 rye bread a week. And this is organic and biodynamic grains from Denmark, so this is really good for the kids, like they're getting some proper food. And when we start the timer, you can see here, there's a lot of steam coming out. You can see this. So what we're doing at the moment is we are packing away the dough that is for tomorrow's bread and buns. So I put them into these containers, and there we put 5.5 kilo in each of these. Sometimes 6 if there's a little bit extra. But it's more or less the dough that we use for everything here. So we fill up the fridge now, and then tomorrow we empty it, and then on the opening days we just fill it up again and empty it and fill it up and empty it. And that's just how the bakery works. What we're actually looking for when we are making the dough is that if we take a piece of the dough that we are putting away, and you go down and you grab a piece like that, and when you take it and put it into water, if it's floating like that, the dough is ready to be put in the fridge. And that is pretty much how you make the good sourdough bread. Is like, you make the dough with your good sourdough, and once it floats, you put it in the fridge and you take it out the day after and you bake it. And we more or less made all the batches of dough at the same time. So with this sourdough that we are using and this flour, which is very, very active, the flour we're using is like really freshly milled, and you can see the dough is pretty gray. And the reason why it's gray is because there's still a lot of shell parts in the dough, so that means in the flour. So the more shell parts like the edge of the grain that you have in the dough, the faster it ferments. And it's also what's good for your body, and it's good for the sourdough. So when you do it with this type of flour, like it takes the bulk period, which this is called the bulk, it only takes about 3 to 3.5 hours here. And I've tried in other bakeries where you did bulk for like half a day, like it was a long bulk. So it's important when you pack away the dough. You can see here it's bending a lot. It's important that you stretch it out a little bit so that it has an even thickness, because if it's too much in the middle, it will take too long to cool down, and then it can end up over fermenting in the middle while the sides are under fermented.
I work here as a cashier and a barista. And like for my daily living, I'm a student. I've been working here since we opened, so now it's almost a year. Yeah, I really enjoy the environment here, and I really have fun while working. And especially like Jesper, he's a really nice boss as well. And I get to also put my own, I don't know, mark on this place. Yeah, the place has definitely become way more popular. Like when the last video was posted, I think we were still quite new. But especially also tourists has really been visiting a lot. Yeah, I think it's quite common when you are visiting Denmark and to search for what to do while you're here. And then people say they are going up for a museum and they saw this bakery and wanted to see the water as well. And
so we have a spread here made from walnuts and bell peppers, asparagus with a ricotta cream, salmon with creme fraiche, our homemade freshly baked rye bread, some whipped butter, and then we have a meatball plate. So this is like a normal like selection that you can choose from the menu.
Looks good.
Yeah. And det var til Marta. Braised beef from a farm in north of Jutland, and then it's just braised in chicken stock, a little bit of olive oil, pepper, and a broccoli sprout. Yeah. So in here we have some Danish organic quinoa, Danish white organic quinoa, mixed with like Danish organic these are anisha lentils. So we actually put a little bit of lentils almost everywhere in all our dishes. We have some nice parsley, a little bit of chives. We have a little bit of chervil here. And then we always add pickles to our, this is actually sauerkraut, homemade sauerkraut. So we put some of that into our salads to mix it up, give some good flavor, and it's really good for the stomach to eat these things. Tiny bit of salt. And then we add olive oil and lemon juice. So then the salad has a lot of flavor, a lot of color. And right now we're doing our summer club toast and our quiche. With cauliflower, beets. I think there is a little bit of ramsons in it. Some cheese, some what's it called? Leeks. And then you get a slice of that next to your salad. And then I like to put a little bit of bell peppers on top of our quiche to get some C vitamin. And then a little bit of oregano.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Like that. And then we need to do a summer club toast. So if you see here, I just forgot to put a little bit of these. These are like soaked pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. And then we have a grilled piece of bread. Down here, down here we have some curry. This is a curry dressing made with a really nice curry that I have up here. This is chicken breast from a farm up in Jutland called it's called Gothenburg. And these chickens, they walk in the forest for 90 days, so they have so much flavor and power, and it's not like eating regular chicken. So you get like a good amount of that to break because there's a lot of fattiness and heaviness in this dish. So if you get some pickled tomatoes, then you break the fattiness. And then we finish this dish off with a little bit of chervil on top. A broccoli sprout from Birkemosegård, and a little bit of oregano. And then we need to add a little bit of salt. So this one is one of our newer dishes. So these are some really nice Danish organic farmed mussels, and they have been steamed in white wine, and then we took the brine which came off from the mussel and reduced until almost nothing. So you see this brine that is here, it's really intense, and we put that together with the mussels. And then we just serve it with a little bit of chervil, a little bit of pepper, plenty of this crazy olive oil, and then there's garlic in it as well. Den er til dig. This one's for you, Frederick. Yeah, there you are. You have never tried anything like it. Enjoy.